to cloud. Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Dreamstruck. This is Teresa Gosh. I am Superstar Director of Group Purple Explosion. We're so excited tonight because we are in for a treat. We are going to be blessed to be able to hear from Superstar Director Colette Gunnell, and she is co-founder of Scentsy. So this is just an amazing treat for all of us. I hope that you have your notepads ready to take some notes. And we're going to hear a little bit about the Scentsy story from her perspective, and also some tips that we can all take into our own businesses to help us on our journeys as well. So without further ado, Colette, we are so excited to have you. There's just been so much chatter when everyone found out that you were going to be on tonight. And so we want to just give the floor to you and also just say thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. We are so thankful and just very blessed to have you. So thanks again, and the floor is yours.
Okay, awesome. I'm so excited to be here, and I just thought I would share some I have a little PowerPoint that kind of shows some of the fun pictures and stuff of the early Scentsy story and kind of how we all got started. So I'm just going to pull that up, and I think I'm going to try to do it where I can, okay, let's see, where I can still, where you can see me, but you can still see the slides if we can figure this out. So, and then share. Okay. I have my cute daughter here helping me because I am very technology challenged. So, okay. All right, does that help? Can you guys see? There we go. Okay. Oh, get rid of that one. We're not sure what that is. Okay, awesome. Teresa, can you do a thumbs up if everything's looking like it's working?
It looks like we were able to see it, and then I think there was a button that you hit. Now we're just seeing kind of a black stripe, but we did see the PowerPoint.
Let's see. So maybe
the title page.
What is this?
Yeah. The beginning of Scentsy.
Do you see the whole thing, like the early Scentsy story, or just the beginning of Scentsy?
Yeah, we're seeing the beginning of Scentsy. It's cutting off the T and the G, but we're seeing for the most part like 95%.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna try one other way real quick.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, is that better?
Perfect. That is 100% perfect.
Okay, thank you for my awesome daughter helping me. That is one of my scary things is technology. So anyway, I am so honored to get to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I love talking about Scentsy. Like, it is still so much in my heart, and I just absolutely feel so blessed every day to be on this Scentsy journey. And so I'm way excited to share with you. I'm just gonna start from the beginning. So the way Scentsy was created is I always had a love of candles. I loved having my house smell good, having everything, you know, just smell awesome when you walked in. But when we first started Scentsy, I had 4 little girls, and now I have a 5th one. But I had heard about that 20,000 plus house fires start every year from burning candles. And so that really worried me. And I actually had one time where I was burning a candle, and I left it and forgot about it, and it burned all the way down to the bottom, and it broke the glass, but luckily the flame went out when the glass got broken. So I was super scared about having candles. So I started experimenting with different ways to like melting tarts and votives and different things, and was kind of in that part of my life at the same time that my sister-in-law, Kara, she had seen the Oprah, the Millionaire Moms show on Oprah. And she it was the Baby Einstein videos, the moms that had created Baby Einsteins. And she was looking at these moms and was like, okay, these are like ordinary women. Like if they can think of something, then why can't I think of something? And she was praying for an idea of something that she could do where she could earn extra income, but still be a mom and stay at home. And so that was kind of both our backgrounds. And we, on July 25th of 2003, so it's been 18 years ago, we went to lunch for my mom's birthday. And I am 6th of 8 kids, and Kara is my little brother, Troy, so the 7th one, his wife, so my sister-in-law. And so all the sister-in-laws and my mom, we were at this lunch, and I gave my mom one of these little coffee mug warmers with a jarred candle for her gift. And we were just talking about candles at the lunch, and I mentioned how my neighbor would take her jarred candle and she would put it in a bag, and then she would break the glass and pull the wax out and cut it up in chunks. And then she would melt the little cubes of wax in her old little potpourri crock pot warmer that looked like a little crock pot. And I really didn't think a lot about it. But for Kara, it was her light bulb moment. She had been, trying to think of an idea for a long time. And she called me that night at like 10 o'clock at night, and she said, when you were talking about what your neighbor did with her candle, she said, the words literally came into my mind, Kara, this is your business. And she said, do you want to start a candle company with me selling wax chunks in warmers? And of course I said, yes. Okay, let's see if I can get to the next screen or the next slide here. Okay. So we were super excited. We're like, all right, but how do we start a company? Like neither of us really had a lot of college experience. I had none. She had a little bit. We'd never really started a company before, and we had no money. I'm like, do you have money to start it? No. Do you have money to start it? No. But we knew we needed to name it and come up with get like our business license, come up with how it was all going to work. And so we got to work. There was a lot we didn't have, but what we did have was a huge dream. This is our original logo, and you'll notice at the bottom it says the hottest new thing in candles. Well, nobody even knew what a wickless candle was at that time, but we truly thought and believed that Scentsy was going to be the hottest new thing in candles. Having a wickless candle that was safe, like, we were super excited about that. I love this quote. It says, all who have accomplished great things have had a great aim and fixed their gaze on a goal which was high, one which sometimes seemed impossible. And for Kara and I, on those early days, we had a lot of people that were naysayers that, like candles, why would you start a candle company? Like, candles are a dime a dozen. You can get them at every store. Like, why would you do that? And I even had my father-in-law set me down, and now Colette, now 99% of all new businesses fail. And, we had a lot of people that doubted us. And maybe in your Scentsy business, you have come across people that, maybe are downplay the business or make you feel like, it's an impossible goal. But instead of letting that get us down, for me, I was like all the more determined to prove them wrong. I'm like, you know what? I totally believe this is going to be something big. So keep believing in your dreams. So we had the idea, and we needed to decide, okay, what are we going to name it? And we were trying to think of all these different names, and we had like a bit of sense or perfect sense, and we had like a whole list of different names. And we typed, Kara was in the other room, I was at my mom's, and we were on the computer and talking, and she typed in the word or forms of the word scent, and she yelled from the other room, what about Scentsy? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like, we knew immediately when we heard the name Scentsy, we're like, we definitely, that's the name. And you can see this little striped bag in the slide. That was Kara's makeup bag, and we loved those colors, and that was our inspiration for the colors of Scentsy and the boxes and everything like that. So we got investigating about waxes and warmers, and we found like the hot plate warmers and all these, you know, different types, and we came across this style right here, this little green one, and it had a little light bulb that clipped underneath the bottom. And when we found the light bulb one, we were like, this is perfect because we can swap it. It came with a 40-watt bulb, but we swapped it for a 25 because it was warm enough to melt the wax, but not hot enough to burn you. And we got our logo, and these were an image of our first run of boxes. It was really cute. It had the little box, and then we had like a little belly band that would slide over the box. So it looked gift ready and packaged super cute. These are some of the other colors that we had of the warmers, and it's kind of fun. You'll probably can't see super good because it's just my little screen share, but this is actually our original first catalog that we had. So it kind of looked a lot like the little boxes, and it was held together with like the little grommet thing. And it's just super funny to see inside. It just had like a little tiny picture of what all of the colors of warmers were available, and then the different list of waxes. And it's really fun because some of the original wax names were ones that Kara and I had named that are still around, like Sunkissed Citrus and Cinnamon Bear and Autumn Sunset. There's several that are still around, and so that's super fun that they have stood the test of time for all those years. So we got investigating in wax, and at the time you could buy jarred candle wax, you could buy little tarts and votives, or like pillar candles that were like, you know, in a pillar. And we discovered that the tarts and votives that were currently on the market that weren't in a container were made out of a much harder wax, so it wouldn't hold a lot of scent. So we said, well, let's take the jarred container wax. And we first poured it, our very first run that we poured was into an ice cube tray. And the very first scent we ever poured was Red Delicious. And I know that one has come back a few times, which was fun. Smelled like apples. It was super awesome. But it looked kind of weird in ice cube trays. Like it didn't look very professional and was kind of goofy. So I went to the craft store and we found these little bead organizers. And we had a lady who helped us. She got us in touch with the fragrance house. We picked all the oils, named all the scents, but she helped us mix the wax and pour them into the bead organizers. Then we would bring them home, like break the seal on them, bang them out of the bead organizer, and then we would shrink wrap and label each one. And those were our original little Scentsy bars. I have some more pictures here. So that's like another little bead organizer, our first little logo, and one of the original warmers. So we set up shop in the unfinished section of my basement. It was super fun. We had like the little Scentsy shop on one side, and then the other side, we had a little play area for my little girls, and Kara had a little boy. And so our kids would come and play over there. If you look close, you can see like our roll of stickers. We were doing inventory, like literally the total inventory that we had is probably less than what some of you guys have in your own personal inventory now, but this was our little shop in the basement. We also had glass tester jars. So when we got all of the testers together, like literally it was so heavy you could barely carry them. Yeah, you can see back behind there the cute little warmers and testers. This was our high-tech labeling system. You can see up above all of the bead organizers. They were all labeled, and those were the ones we had already banged out the wax. And then once they were shrink wrap and labeled, the little labels across the top are how we would label each bar. Then they would go into the bins. And if any of you have been to the home office in Meridian, when you visit the sheep farm, bins are in there in the ocean container. These are part of the ones Orville picked up from our basement. So we had our name, we had our logo, we had our run of boxes, the wax figured out, everything ready to go. And we had to figure out, now how are we going to market this? So you get your starter kit with Scentsy, you're so excited now, how am I going to like get this out there? So we tried out retail, and at that time, we were so excited. We had our cute little display and the bars and everything, but nobody at that time knew what a wickless candle was. So it just sat there. I think we sold 1 or 2 out of the little boutique that we had put this in, but nobody really knew what that was. So we knew it needed more of a person-to-person, explanation so that people understood. So I had been a consultant for some other party plan companies, never really got serious in any of them, but mostly just to get things that I wanted. So I kind of understood about party plan a little bit. And so we actually had 8 consultants that were selling with Kara and I, and we were doing home parties. You can see the little glass testers and and our lovely hairdos. It was just super fun. We also found that fairs and shows worked well. So we had gotten into a couple different fairs, and this was awesome. People were able to we could have conversations with them, and we met a lot of people, and people were really intrigued and loved the idea about a wickless candle. So this was our little setup. We had our little business suits, and we were just super excited. And on March of 2004, so not quite a year after we had been to the birthday lunch, we were at the Spring Home and Garden. It was March 13th of 2004. And we had our little booth set up. And the booth across from us was this cute, 14, 15-year-old girl. She had a TV set up on a table, and then one of these little 3-in-1 game controller handheld video games, and she was standing there demoing the video. And all of you that have ever done fairs or shows know that you make friends with your neighbors around you. And I had, like I said, the 4 little girls at home, and I thought, oh my heck, my girls would love being able to play that video game. And so I had just been kind of watching that booth, but at this time with Scentsy, we had about $20,000 on our credit cards. And so I was like, well, I don't want to buy one. Maybe I could work out a trade with the vendor. So it was on a Saturday, and I saw Orville, who I didn't know who he was, but he had come over and talked to it was his niece that was demoing the games. And he came over to the booth and was talking to her. And I had gone to the end. We were at the end booths on the row, and at the very end against the wall was a bench. And so I had gone over to have a little snack on the bench. It was like dinner time, and I'm over there eating. And I saw Orville stop and talk to his niece. And then a few minutes later, he came over and sat on the other end of the bench. And sorry, I get emotional because literally that moment was the moment that changed my life forever. We struck up a conversation, and I was really wanting one of the video games. And so I was like, okay, I want to work out a trade, but it's a guy so I asked Orville, are you married? And he said, yes. And I said, you totally need to take one of these warmers home to your wife. And he's like, okay, well, tell me about them. And I'm like, it's the hottest new thing in candles. They're wickless, flameless, smokeless. I'm like building it all up and was super excited. And I brought him over to the booth and had him smell. The first scent that I had him smell was called Root Beer Barrel. And because I knew that, the guys would love the root beer one. And then I had him smell Red Delicious and Sugar Cookie. And anyway, he was really intrigued. You could just see, him thinking about things. And he said, well, yeah, for sure, let's work out a trade. And then, we were talking for a few more minutes, and Then he went back and sat on the bench, and I stayed at the booth, and I like looked over, and literally you could just see the wheels turning in his mind, and he was thinking about how he could become involved in Scentsy. So he came over, asked if we wanted to partner on a show. There was going to be a women's show. The Seattle Women's Show was coming up. And he said, you bring your product and I'll pay for the booth. And we partnered on this show. This was the actual picture of our first show that we did. And this was the first time that we met Deanie. I don't know if all of you know Deanie, but she's awesome. And we killed it in sales at this show. We sold a lot of inventory and people loved the idea of a wickless candle. And at night we would go to dinner after we'd been at the booth all day, and Orville was like, okay, you know, how can we work this out? I think I can help you take this to the next level. And a lot of people will ask me like, why Orville? Because we had a couple people approach us that like worked for Costco or different things that were like, this is a cool idea, you know. But honestly, when I met Orville, it was like I had known him for a long time. He felt like a brother to me, like it just really felt right. And then when we met Heidi, that will be this next slide, then I just knew that it was meant to go to them. This was at my house on May 1st of 2004. Orville and Heidi came and we worked up the contract, and they came to pick everything up from the basement and take it to its new home. And I just remember when they were driving, sorry, when they were driving down the street with everything in their trailer, in their car. The only way I can describe it was that, like, an adoption. Like, I just felt like Scentsy was going to have a much better life with Orville and Heidi than what we knew how to grow it and build it. I love Scentsy. It's totally in my heart, but I knew that we didn't have the skills and, you know, everything to know how to take it to the next level. And I never once have looked back or regretted the day that we signed the papers and handed it over to them. I love this quote by Michael Jordan. It says, some people want it to happen, some people wish it would happen, and others make it happen. And Orville and Heidi, they literally made it happen. I am so proud of them. I'm so grateful to them. Here's a picture of the sheep farm where they moved the original items to. And Orville, because he was far away from the lady who was helping us pour the wax and everything, he bought crock pots and he figured out how to mix and pour. And I'm just so proud of them that they took it and ran with it and made it what it is today. I'm so proud. I never could have imagined. So once we sold it, I was still helping with fairs and shows here in Utah. And I was like, I got to become a consultant. Like, I want to become part of this. And so I joined as a consultant, and through the last, what has it been? Well, 18 since we started, but Scentsy just had their 17-year anniversary since Orville and Heidi started it. I have learned, probably like a lot of you guys, how to do hard things and get out of my comfort zone and learn to be brave in all areas, talking to people and getting out there. And sometimes that can be hard. I know there's been sometimes they would have us up on stage at convention and different things, and totally scares the living daylights out of me. But I've also grown so much and had so many blessings come to me because of Scentsy. So I love this picture. This is one of the first leader trainings that we had. I'm trying to think what year this would have been, probably like 2007. You'll probably recognize some of the people in there. There's Heidi and Becky Priest and 80, like lots of the early consultants in there. And this was in Salt Lake. And The lady, let's see, she has a white shirt on with a pink tank top underneath, and she was our trainer, and her name was Christy Northrup. And I remember one of the days at the training, she pulled me aside and she said, you know, Colette, there's something really special about Scentsy. She said, I see a day where you'll have a convention and there'll be flags placed all around the room that represent all the different countries that Scentsy will be in. And at the time I was like, do you really think that? Like, that just seems so exciting to me. And now Scentsy is currently in 11 countries, and is it 12 now? It might even be 12, I don't know, but we are growing, and it is just so exciting to me. I never dreamed that Scentsy would be able to, I mean, go outside of Utah, really, Idaho. Like, it's just so awesome to me to see how it's grown. This picture is also a picture of another time we were at the home office. And so the home office is about 5 hours away from where I live. And so I get up there sometimes, but not a lot. But there was one time where Scentsy had just moved into its new warehouse, and we were there for a training. And where the training one was upstairs, and there was a little window there. And I just remember walking over to the window and looking down and seeing this warehouse full of Scentsy product. And I literally just, my heart wanted to burst. I was just so proud. I couldn't believe, like, this is our little tiny business. Like, this is amazing. And I was so proud. And this picture doesn't even compare to what Scentsy is today. It's pretty crazy. Here is our current Scentsy home office. And it is continually growing and growing. They're adding more buildings, more products. Like, it is amazing. If you ever get the opportunity to visit the home office, go. It literally makes your heart just burst. It's so awesome. This is a fun screen, and this was from like before COVID, like a couple years ago. So it's even grown more since now, but Scentsy home office on a 63-acre campus with multiple buildings, over 300 Scentsy consultants in 11 different countries, 7 distribution centers, lots of employees, tons of bars. It says over 161 bathtubs worth of wax poured per day, so over 340,000 bars. And I know that they're above that now. Plus all the awards that Scentsy has earned, the top 20 on the Global 100 Direct 100 selling list. The Scentsy named Forbes list of America's 100 most promising companies. Like, there is so many awesome things for us to be proud of with Scentsy. This is me at the home office when we were told about the Disney partnership. Literally, I was like, I remember being at convention when they passed around the Disney buddies and they had announced about it. And I'm like, okay, there is Scentsy on Mickey Mouse's foot. Like, I was blown away. So awesome. Like, who would have ever dreamed? I can't imagine. And I remember being at Superstar Summit when we saw the first Scentsy warmers that had the Mickey Minnie, the classic curve warmers with a Mickey and Minnie on them. I came around the corner and they were sitting on the table, and you guys, literally, I did the ugly cry. Like, I was just so overwhelmed and so proud of everybody, the home office, the team. And the cool thing about it is it really took every single one of us working together, all of us, all the consultants, the home office, Orville and Heidi, everybody working together to make Scentsy what it is today. And I'm just so grateful to every single one of you and to everybody that has believed in our little dream to help make Scentsy become really, truly the hottest new thing in candles. I'm super proud of everybody and so grateful for each of you. I love this. This was one of the original early Scentsy trips that I was able to earn. And we came around the corner to our hotel, and they had taken our Scentsy logo and put it in Scentsy rocks on the hillside. And I just remember being blown away, like our little Scentsy logo is in Hawaii. Like it just was so awesome. I love that picture. So probably some of my best and favorite things about my time with Scentsy is that in 2009, my husband was able to retire. He had been working at an insurance company for over 20 years. He had been there a long time. And he was able to go into his boss and say, you know what, I want to retire. And they told him, you're too young to retire. And he said, well, then I want to resign. And we have been able to do Scentsy together since 2009. And it has literally been such a blessing to work with my best friend and my awesome husband, Greg. This though is super fun. I found this the other day. This is an actual copy of my check stub. And so this was from, let me see, June of 2006. So my total, it cut off, oops, sorry about that. It cut off the total, but it was really close to the $437. And so this is 2006. And like I said, it was 2009. So on here, my rank, I was a director, but it was 3 short years later than that, July of 2009, that my husband retired and that we were able to work Scentsy full-time together. So in those 3 years, working the business every single day and working my heart out, we were able to make enough money that he could quit his job. So I love that check is just super fun for me to see. This is a picture of my family. I have the 5 girls. They're all grown up now. Last May, my daughter number 4 just got married, and I'm a grandma with a little boy and a little girl, and I have a 3rd little granddaughter on her way in October. And 3 of my daughters are consultants now. One of them just started high school. She's a sophomore, and the other one just started as at her first year in college. So they haven't joined yet. But literally, Scentsy is a family business for us. They help me do shows. They help me do parties. We totally work together, and we have so much fun together. Okay, so one of the questions that they had asked is, let me see if I can get this right. Let's see, how do you keep your excitement after 18 years? How do you keep your excitement for Scentsy? Honestly, my why I want to keep going is literally each of you guys. Like, I know how much Scentsy has blessed my life and my family's life, and I want that for every single Scentsy consultant. And I will be here. You will never get rid of me. I will be around forever. I literally love Scentsy. It's in my heart. It's part of me. I am just so proud of everybody, and I absolutely love it. So I'll be around forever. And I really want each of you to reach whatever goal it is that is what you're looking for with Scentsy. I tell my husband all the time, Scentsy is so much more than just wax and warmers and making people's homes feel good. As fun as that is and as awesome that is, I truly believe that Scentsy really is the tool that can help each of us become who we were really meant to be, and give us confidence and give us the income and everything that we need so that we can be what we want to be on this earth. And I just am super proud of you guys and so grateful for you. They asked me if I would share some tips, and I'll share a few tips, and then if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer any questions. So I did join as a regular consultant, so I totally have like worked through all the process of moving up ranks, and I have never been given like any downline or team or like everything I have done. I worked just like each of you are doing as well. So I totally understand when there are ups and downs and hard times. And this last year, it was a crazy year for me. It was crazy for everybody, but with COVID and everything going on. But I lost my dad in January from COVID. He had started showing signs of dementia, and we had to help get him into a rest home where they could help us take care of him a little better. And he ended up getting COVID and passing away, and that was super rough. And before all of that, last summer, he needed 24-hour care. And so me and my siblings, we were staying with him. And I also had a daughter coming to live with me while she was building a house, and she had a baby at that same time. And anyway, life was just crazy. And it was the first year that I did not earn the incentive trip. And literally, I just was like, oh my gosh, I gotta like get my head on and like get, everything back in order. And so I'm just telling you that because with Scentsy, that is a blessing of Scentsy, that we can have ups and downs, that we can have sometimes where we have to take a break away and, our family is coming first, or different things that happen in our life. But when you're ready, literally, my advice is relaunch, and relaunch often. So I'm doing this too, and I remade my list of 100. I would highly recommend sitting down, writing down your list of 100 people that are going to be helping with parties, that when you go through the warmer and see different or the catalogs and see different warmers, think about, who do I know that needs this warmer? Who do I know that this would fit in their decor or whatever? And just start making your list of 100. That will really help you. The other thing that I do is I hold my own Scentsy open houses. I hold my own parties, and what that does is helps relaunch and helps get other people excited about taking home a set of testers, or having a party with me. And what I did originally was went through my phone, and not people that I knew were customers or that really loved Scentsy. I just went through every single person that lived close enough that they could come to my house. And I sent them an invitation, and I printed off like, I don't even remember. I think I printed like 300 or 400 actual invitations. And I went around and I put them on people's porches. And my goal was to just invite every single person that I knew that lived close enough to come. And then once they did come, I added them onto a text list. And so I let them know every time that we do an open house. And I do one with each new catalog. And then in the fall, we also do like a Halloween or harvest one and a Christmas one. And people love it. They know that they can come in and get Scentsy, and it has been super fun. So take your testers, your catalogs, any inventory that you have. If you don't have inventory, that's okay, because they can just shop right out of the catalog. But relaunch. So that is one of my tips. Also with the incentive trip, I'm so excited. Once you go on an incentive trip, you never want to miss one. Anyone that has ever been, they will tell you the same thing. It's seriously so awesome. And this year is the Alaskan cruise for the US. And so print off the trip tracker and actually sit down and make a plan for what you need to do each month to be able to earn the trip, and really set that as your goal, because all of the things you're doing that you're going to be doing to earn the trip is also going to be building your business and helping you succeed this fall. I also love the app, the AMI app, AMI, if you guys aren't familiar with it, but it is the most awesome follow-up system. It helps you know when people order from your site and remind you to thank them and to keep in touch with them. It also helps you with your team and your downline and remembering birthdays and centiversaries and things. It is seriously fabulous. And if you don't use Amy, come up with some kind of follow-up system. That's the thing with doing my little open houses that I do with my customers. They love it because they don't have to like think about, oh, I have to, you know, call Colette to get more Scentsy. Like they know that in a couple months they're going to get a text, and then another month or two after that they get another text, and that they can come and order or text me their order or go directly online or whatever. So follow-up is awesome and key to success. The other thing is setting aside time every day to work your business. This is super important, especially where we work from home, because sometimes it's easy to just get caught up in all the craziness of life and all the things our kids are doing and never like sit down to actually work. So I love taking a power hour, or you know, you set whenever time is really good for you, but actually sit down and work your business every single day. It will pay off, I promise. And then 2 more tips. One of them, be prepared everywhere you go. Have catalogs with you, have samples ready, have party information or join information, some kind of brochure that you can hand out, and literally everywhere you go, be prepared and be excited. Honestly, it's when you are just talking to people and your enthusiasm and excitement carries over, that people want to know more, and they want to buy or join or host or whatever. So be prepared. Have stuff in your car that you can have stuff in your backpack or purse or whatever, just so that you are ready to share Scentsy with anybody, anytime. And let's see. So be excited, be prepared, and then the last one is just staying connected. Thank you so much for coming onto this call. You guys have awesome leaders. Your superstar directors are amazing. I feel so blessed that they invited me to come on the call. They are literally my heroes. I learn from them. Like I tell Debbie all the time, like, I need you to train my team, like literally, and Teresa, they're amazing. Like, I just feel so blessed to, honestly, my best friends and the people that I would call if I ever need anything is my Scentsy family. We truly are a family, and it's such a blessing. And so stay connected, come on to the trainings, go to World Tour if you can, come to convention. This year, it's going to be in Salt Lake City, my hometown, and come to convention. You will never regret it. It is seriously so worth it. Any of the trainings or anything you can learn, like staying connected and participating and learning and growing, you will learn. My best things that have grown my business, my best tips that I have learned have literally been from connecting with other consultants. So stay connected, keep enthusiastic, just never give up. That's the last thing, is never give up, because I've seen several consultants who did give up over the long haul of Scentsy, and years later they will come, sometimes not even years, they come and say, oh my gosh, that was the stupidest thing I would have done. Like, you know, I could have been clear to hear if I would have stayed with Scentsy. And so never give up. That's the bottom line. Just keep going, do your best, and know the home office and all your leaders. And there's so many people cheering you on, and we really are a family and help each other. So anyway, I think that's all that I have. If anybody has any questions, or if there's anything that the superstars want to add, like, feel free, but just thank you so much for letting me come on tonight. And thanks for being part of the Scentsy family. I love you all and so grateful for you.
Wow, Colette, thank you so much. I literally just took 2 pages of notes. This story is so amazing. You know, when we went to Anaheim and we saw you on the bench with Heidi and Oroville, I mean, every time we hear the story, I know that it generates emotions for so many of us, but I want to personally thank you because this has been so life-changing for myself, for my family, my husband, and my 4 kids. And there's over 300,000 current consultants now. And you and your sister-in-law have impacted so many lives because you had a thought. You know, there were moments that you probably ran into obstacles so many times that you could have just shut the door, or you could have given this company into the wrong hands. And after listening to you tonight, there's so many people that you could have given this business to, but we have all grown to love Heidi and Orville. And I just believe that your spirits aligned. And sometimes it's just, there's a spiritual connection and you just know that you know that you know. And I'm so thankful that you knew. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know what this has done and what this will continue to do for generations to come. I've never heard this story from your side, and it's absolutely beautiful. It really is. And so for anyone else out there that, you know, may have stumbling blocks in their personal life or their professional life, one of the things that we really can take away from this tonight is, you know, never give up. You're going to have naysayers. You're going to have no's. I'm sure you ran into so many of those, but never, ever give up on your dreams. So I just want to say thank you. And I know that we have other superstar directors that are ready to ask you some questions. And I really want to start with Carol Bishop Houck. There was tears that came to my eyes because when you showed us the picture with the consultants in the room, I saw my sponsor and my upline in the back. And so Carol, the floor is yours. What question do you have for Colette?
It's so hard to give her a question. My question is, can I have that photo? Because I don't have that photo that you have
of course.
back then. I'm like, we look like such babies. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I have been on this journey, I mean, almost the whole time with you. So it's, and it is truly life-changing, same. And so, I just want to know, my question is, can we come and tour your big house when we're in Salt Lake? Are you going to have an open house?
That would be super. I think that would be super fun. Have a barbecue or something, huh?
I know, right? You just need to have an open house. You'll need to provide, people to park and stuff. But yeah, your house is so amazing. She's built her dream home with, thanks to Scentsy. So she doesn't brag about it, but her house is gorgeous. And so, but is there one thing that, let's say we have some new people that are struggling. Is there any word of advice that you can give them? If they're newer, they're struggling, they're not getting customers. What's something that you feel like that could keep them going?
So, I mean, and literally, I understand that feeling. I really do. I remember one time thinking, I think it was around when that paycheck I showed, like in, 2006, 2007, I was feeling like, the little gerbils that are like running around, like I was working. And I felt like my paycheck wasn't really reflecting how much work I was putting into it. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And I remember comparing and like thinking, okay, like I remember hearing that some of the other consultants had these really big paychecks and, different things like that. And so my one thing, don't compare, for sure. Don't compare. And don't try to, because you'll hear a lot of really awesome tips and ideas, and don't like feel like you have to do everything. Like each of you literally are a shining star in our Scentsy family. And there are things that you can only do and only you, that you do well. I literally am the worst on technology. Like I don't even go live on my team page. I get so scared. Like I am terrible on Zoom. Like I just get so nervous with technology. So for me, doing, online parties and things like that would scare the living daylights out of me. And so I just think take the things that you know how to do well and then just specialize in that and keep going, just keep going. And literally, I think we forget, like, we're like, nobody's booking a party, but we can host our own parties. We can, you know, invite our own people. And what's been awesome is as I've done other parties or shows, fairs and shows, or different, anytime I meet people, I tell them, you know what, we have these really fun open houses. Would you like to be invited? And I'll add you to my list. And, you know, so anyway, that's been something that works for me, but never give up and take what you're comfortable, what you feel like you can specialize in, and then just go for it. So I don't know if that's very good advice, but just never give up and keep trying and do you.
Thank you, Colette. And I have to thank Debbie Pitts Palmer, because I remember approaching her and I was like, Debbie, you know Colette. Do you think you can get her on Dreamstruck? So a big thank you to Debbie. And so Debbie, what question do you have for Colette tonight?
Thank you so much, Colette. You know I love you to death.
I love you too.
One thing I know about Colette, she has this big giving heart. And something else I know about her is that she is the queen of simplicity. Can you kind of tell everybody about the overthinking things? Because you're the queen of simplicity.
So you mean like
Can you hear?
overthinking? Yeah, like overthinking, like with parties or
The
just
business, right. The
okay,
business
yes.
in general, you know, right.
Well, that's one of the really awesome things about Scentsy is you basically get in your starter kit everything you really need to succeed. So I know that we like, I'll listen to trainings and I see things and literally my head will just be spinning and I like get, oh, I got to learn how to do this. I got to do this. And like, you can start to get panicked and worried about all the stuff that is out there. But honestly, that is simplicity and authenticity and generosity. Those are our core values, and keeping it simple because you want other people to look at you and go, well, if she can do that, I could do that too, right? And if we complicate everything, then it makes it hard. Other people are like, I could never do what she does. I would never do that, right? So we want to keep it simple. Also the authenticity. I love that. Our original little logos, like authentic, authentic Scentsy and being authentic. You have so much to offer to this world, every single one of you. And just being you and being authentic and sharing your heart and sharing your love and passion about Scentsy and your excitement for the products. Literally, I'm my own best customer. Things come out, I'm so excited. I'm like trying them, and when you do, you just naturally want other people to enjoy that same thing. So being authentic, but keeping it simple is super duper important. I really feel that because you can complicate it so much to where it's not fun anymore. And that's never good. So yeah, don't overthink things. Keep it simple. Just do your best.
Thank you, Colette. I love that.
Colette.
That's one of our core values, and that, we don't say it's a core value. We actually walk in that core value. So thank you for leading from the front. Okay, Dorothy. Dorothy is also another amazing superstar director. What question do you have for Colette?
Hi, I just want to say, without getting emotional, thank you for this beautiful opportunity for our families. But my question is, I'm curious, because I do a lot of fundraisers. Have you done fundraisers with your own Scentsy business? And if so, do you have a tip on them?
Yes. I love fundraisers. In fact, I have a huge fundraiser going on right now. And
awesome.
So we've done a couple really cool things with fundraisers. So far, I've done like the sports teams with, the high school that we're on. And so I went to the district, got licensed as like a fundraiser, on their approved list of being able to do fundraisers. And so we did a really cool, we do this every year for the girls basketball team, but we do a buddy fundraiser. And we have the primary children's hospital that is close by here. And so I tie in the open house idea because they're the high school that's local, right? And so I tell them, okay, there's 3 ways to sell. I open up the party link. They can go on and order, directly from the link. I also do a little fundraiser packet where each of the team players can take catalogs and order forms with them, collect orders. And I usually just do the showcase brochure. So it doesn't have, all the confusion of the catalog, but showcase brochure, catalogs, order forms, and send them out to take orders. And then I also do a personal shopping day. And so I'll set up any inventory that I have. I put out my testers, just set it out there, and then they can actually come and purchase anything. It's an awesome way to move inventory, things that have been discontinued or whatever, but they can come and shop. And then I just tell them, a percentage of the sales will go, to there. But with the buddy drive, that was super cool because they were able to buy a buddy, and then we they would take it over, and we started a table where they could just go and donate it. And we literally had a huge cart, the car was jam-packed. It was an SUV, you couldn't even get one more item in there of buddies that went to the hospital. But it wasn't just the buddies, which was super awesome because, a percentage of the sales from the open house and then all the other ways, it was over $10,000, the fundraiser, and it was super awesome. So yeah, nice. I love fundraisers. And what's cool is once I did the basketball team, now the volleyball team, the dance team, the track team, they're all like, hey, will you do our fundraiser too? And so, yeah, getting out there with fundraisers can be a huge, and then what's awesome is I tell those customers, if you loved coming, I do, open houses every once in a while. Do you want to be added to my list? And it just keeps growing and growing, more people that want to come when we host more parties. So that's everything awesome. Can build onto everything. It's just so cool.
Thank you. I love that you're not just kicking back with your feet up. You're actually right in it with us, working your business. So thank you. We've got about 5 minutes left and 2 more questions to go. So Kelly Rashaw, she's also another superstar director here on Dreamstruck. What question do you have?
Hi, Colette. First, it's like you're everybody's great grandma, so that's kind of cool. It's like meeting your grandma for the first time. But I know your team has to be ginormous, and one of the things I don't think we cover enough is time management and balance and all those things. So when your team first started to grow, whether it was 1 person, 10 or 10,000, how do you think you find a way for balance between your home life, your leadership life, and your customer life? Because we have all these things now that we have to take care of as leaders, but I don't think they really prepare you for that. They just we all just do it. And
right.
We don't get lessons.
Right. I totally agree with you. And this is where I'll go to Superstar Summit or any of the training, even convention. And that is always my top thing on my list. I need to be better with working with my team. And it can get overwhelming because it is so big. Which that's a huge blessing. But at the same time, I will have a lot of guilty feelings oh no, I'm not doing enough on recognition, or I need to be in touch with my leaders more. And, so that is always my biggest thing that I always want to do better in, because I feel the sales, we want to reach our goal every month, and, you're working hard for that. And then family life balance, whether you want it to or not, sometimes your family needs you, and so I feel the team portion of it is one place that I really always need to improve in. But I do have my team page, and I send out birthdays and Scentiversaries each month still, but only to my leadership group instead of the entire downline. That would be super hard. And then I do challenges on my team page, and I open it up to anybody that is on my team. So I mean, not just leadership, but anyone that's on that page. And so we do some fun recognition that way. And then I do a monthly newsletter for my leadership group that actually has like, you know, everyone's birthday, people who moved up, and, you know, like shooting star and shining star, and, you know, all the different awards. But where I really want to get better and am lacking is like the one-on-one personal. I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want to bother her, or, you know, but that's my advice really to anyone in a downline. If you need help with anything, reach up, like call your director, call your superstar director. Like, I would love to help anybody anytime. It's just sometimes you don't know who's needing help or who has questions. And, you know, so if people reach out to me, I love that, because, you know, then I feel like, okay, I can really like find people who want my help. I don't know, probably other superstars have better advice for that. But yeah, the team part is where I really want to do better. But
I think it's awesome because it shows everybody that it doesn't matter where you started, how long you've been in the business, that you still have struggles and you're a real person behind the scenes. It doesn't matter. We all have these struggles, and I don't think we'll ever find an answer, honestly, to this question.
I know. I think it's just trying to work it each day and creating systems that work for you. You know, like I have the newsletter on a system, I have the birthday center, you know, like the things I have good systems in place, like those are the things I'm doing consistently, but I can always improve. And that's the thing. I think I like look literally all of you guys, I'm like, oh my heck, you guys are my heroes. You are the amazing ones. I need to learn from all of you. So yeah, I'm definitely not the pro in that department, but I do try hard. So.
Thank you. Thanks, Kelly. That was an awesome question. And I'm going to pose a question in here, and then we're going to end with Amber Turner. But are you involved in some of the decision making from Scentsy corporate side?
So on the corporate side, like I really am not. Like, I know when they changed the logo and stuff, it was so cool. Like Orville, he pulled me aside, hey, what do you think? You know, but the home office team, and especially now, even really Orville and Heidi, I mean, them being gone for the next 3 years, like there are such amazing people at the home office. There are whole design teams, there's supply chain teams, there's, I mean, just they're incredible. And when I do get up to the home office to get to visit up there, they are so kind to me, and they'll show me and, you know, involve me in a lot of things, but on a day-to-day basis, I'm really not, which I feel so blessed for that. You know, you hear of a lot of people who will sell a company, and to the old owner, it's like, you know, see you later, like they just boot you out. And I have never felt that with them. They have been so amazing, so kind. Like, who does that? You know, who like lets the birth mother like be part of the, you know, like, I don't know. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. So
I love
but yeah,
that.
the day-to-day decisions, they have such awesome leaders, and I'm not involved in that. Like when the some of the new products come out and the air purifier and different things, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm surprised right with all of you guys. So
Oh, that's awesome.
it's fun.
Thank you. Okay, and the final question goes to Amber Turner, Superstar Director. Amber, what do you have for us?
Hi, Colette. So I have one question for you, and that is, if you only had 15 minutes to work your business tomorrow, what would you do?
Ooh, that is a really good question. 15 minutes to work my business. So I love the Amy, because that helps you follow up with customers. I would probably work that, you know, for a few minutes. Oh my goodness, because I mean, like I have shows coming up, like each day is different things where I'm like, we got to get this ready, got to get this ready. But there are, like, obviously the income producing things of actual sales. So making samples, you know, things like that are not going to produce income right away, obviously. So booking parties and talking to people is going to be more important. But if I only had 15 minutes a day, I would honestly focus on recruiting, because sales, I mean, we can get sales, but honestly, what generates the lifelong, consistent paycheck is building your team. And so I would, if I had 15 minutes and that was it, I would like, okay, who do I know that I can, tell about this awesome join special this month with, getting the kit for free, this Shining Star kit. I think that would be the thing I would focus on the most.
I love that. That was a really awesome question, Amber. And thanks for allowing us to keep you a couple of minutes longer, Colette. We started something new with our guests, and we like to end our segment with a rapid fire question. So I'm just going to ask you just about 4 or 5 questions, whatever comes to your mind first. Just blurt it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is your favorite scent of all time?
Ooh, I love wild black cherry, sunkissed, sugar cookie, cinnamon bear. We got to vote back cinnamberry and spiced orange harvest. Just telling everybody those were awesome. Yeah, there's so many I love.
That sounds so good. What is your favorite Scentsy buddy?
Oh, Scentsy buddy. Well, I have to probably say the Mickey and Minnie. Those just melted my heart.
Oh, what has been your favorite incentive trip?
Oh, that is so hard. Africa.
Yes.
The African safari, I never dreamed. That was amazing.
Yes, that was my favorite too. And your favorite Disney Scentsy product?
Disney Scentsy product. I have to say the Mickey Minnie warmers. Like, it was literally the ugly cry. Yeah, I just am so excited about those.
Oh. What's one word that you can say about Heidi?
Oh, the biggest, kindest heart you've ever seen. She's so full of love. So
And
proud of her.
yes, she's amazing.
That's literally been one of my favorite, like in that picture where she's hiding, in the photo, and just seeing what she has become, one of my favorite things of all time with Scentsy.
Oh, that's awesome. And last question, what is one word that you have about Orville?
Just, he was born to do this. He has such a brain for this, and he's not thinking of tomorrow. And that's one thing I love. They're thinking of generations ahead. They want Scentsy here for generations. It's not just let's make a quick buck and be done. Like, this is a long-term plan for them. And yeah, he's incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. Last question. What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, that is so hard. Just that people can do hard things. People can become whatever they want to be. And yeah, never give up on your dreams, and just work hard, and you can make it happen. We can make a difference in the world, in our families, in our own life. Just don't give up on your dreams and aim high, dream big. Like, I would have never, ever, ever dreamed that Scentsy would be in all these countries, that I would be on a Zoom call with you guys tonight, all you amazing leaders, all you awesome people. Like, I am so blessed. My heart is so full. Dream big, because you never know where you're going to go with your business. And I've seen people shoot for the moon and they make it there, and it's amazing. So yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for leaving an amazing legacy for all of us in generations to come. So thanks again for tuning in with us tonight. We are so blessed for this amazing treat to be able to speak with you tonight. And we hope to see you in Idaho in a couple of weeks.
For sure. I will be there for sure.
Yay.
Thank you for the opportunity, everybody. Love you.
Absolutely. Love you so much. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
joining. We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.